On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 12 fabric gift bags. Hey guys, and welcome back for another tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this very cute and reusable gift bag. Just in time for the holiday season. All the measurements for this will be at the blog post, which will be linked below, as well as the information icon. I will be making a 6 by 6 by 3 inch bag. So the measurements for that is 16 inches by 10 inches. And then my straps will be 3 inches by 10 inches. So if you want the measurements for all the other sizes, then definitely check out the blog post linked below. I will also be using the medium weight interfacing, and that will help my bag stand up on its own. And I'm going to apply medium weight interfacing to all pieces. So all the pieces that you cut out of the fabric, just cut out the same size out of your interfacing. And then I will just use a hot dry iron to iron it onto the back. So make sure you're using the rough side of your interfacing on the wrong side of your fabric. And I also put some on the straps, and I'm just used a 2-inch piece and I centered that, and then I'm going to fold down each side and 1/2 inch, and this will be me creating the strap. And then I'll fold it again in half, and then we will just take it to the sewing machine and sew down both sides. So I usually like to use a 3 stitch length when I do my top stitches, just because I think it looks a little bit nicer. And if you're used to my tutorials right now, I've said this a trillion times. But I'm just going to flip it around and do the other side just so it matches. And I did this to both pieces, so I have 2 straps. So now I'm going to work on the outer fabric of the bag, and I'm going to fold it in half lengthways with the wrong sides together. And then at the fold, I'm going to measure in 1.5 inches, and I'm going to mark it with a pin. So I'm going to turn it around. I'll measure 1.5 inches away and then place another pin. And then from here, I'm going to put the bags, the right sides together. So I'm going to fold over, and it's sort of making an accordion fold. And it's nice to have the pins because the pins will stop it from wanting to open up. And then I just like to press that. So I'm going to take the pins out just so I don't melt them. And then I will press that just to keep it folded like that. And then I'll work on the lining. So the lining is going to be different. I'm just going to fold it with the right sides together in half. And for this, I'm going to sew down the short sides. And then for the outer fabric, again, sew down the short sides. So I'm just going to be using a 1/2 inch seam allowance. And I'll just sew down both sides. And then I will quickly do the lining portion. And I am doing the lining different than the outer. You could do it the same, but you'll know why very soon, why I don't do the lining the same as the outside. So now I'm going to take the lining and I'm going to pinch the corners. So we're kind of mitering the corners. We're just going to press it down, and then we will measure up 3 inches from side to side. And if you can tell by my horrible measuring, I was really crooked. And it's weird because I still made the bag and I guess it didn't seem to notice. But I think the next one I did a lot better. Don't use a triangle when you're measuring. I couldn't find my smaller ruler. And then again, from side to side, measure 3 inches. And then I'll just put a pin there just so that it doesn't shift during sewing. And then I'll just sew along that drawn line. So the reason why I'm doing it this way is because I want to cut off that excess fabric. I don't want it to be on the inside of the fabric to create, you know, bulkiness. So by doing it this way, I'll snip off that fabric and then that will be not inside the bag. So that is the lining complete. And then we can take our outer fabric and we can flip that right sides out. And this is where the magic happens. It's pretty neat, actually. I've done this in another project before, and I don't really understand how it works, but it looks super cute, and it looks like a paper bag, sort of. So when you do flip it, it can, or it might need a little bit of finessing just to make it like a nice perfect little triangle. So I'll take it to the ironing board and just iron it up and, you know, tell it to make itself into a rectangle basically. And then we will put the lining inside of the outer fabric. So don't do anything with the lining, make sure it's still inside out, and then we'll just stick it in and then we'll line up those side seams. And then we will fold down the raw edges towards each other and then we will pin it into place. I kind of like to have the lining fabric just slightly peeking over the edge. I think it looks a lot prettier that way, and then, you know, you can actually see the lining a little bit. But that's totally up to you if you want to do that. So just carefully, you're going to do all the way around the bag. And then once you're all done, you can press that into place and then you can insert your straps. And my straps are 10 inches long, but you can gauge how long you want your straps to be. I just give you 10 inches because, you know, it's a good amount. So if you don't like the length that I'm giving you, then you're welcome to make it shorter. Or if you want it even longer, you can do that too. So I'm going to measure 2.5 inches from the seam, the side seams, and then I will place my strap within the 2 layers of fabric. And I'm just doing that because I want to make sure that the straps are nice and even on both sides and they're both placed in the exact same spot on either side of the bag. So I hope you're enjoying this tutorial so far. If you are, I would love it if you subscribed and hit that notification bell so you can be notified of future tutorials. There will be 11 more days of Christmas. I am doing the 12 days of Christmas. So get ready for lots of Christmassy tutorials coming up. And if you do make this, I would love to see it. So please hit me up on my Instagram or the Facebook page, which is all linked below, and everything is Charmed by Ashley, so I'm easy to find. Okay, so once you have your straps placed, then you will just do a top stitch all the way around the bag just to secure the handles and to secure the lining and the outer fabric together. If you want to do some extra tacking on the handles, if you are planning on putting, you know, heavier objects in it, then you're welcome to do a second pass over the handles, or even just do another round of stitches a couple millimeters underneath this one. And then you're done. You have a super cute gift bag that, you know, you can give to people. This is a great stash buster, and, you know, it's the gift that keeps on giving because then they can use it at home or they can re-gift it to someone else. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next tutorial. Bye guys.